Hi and welcome to another Monday Live, the last Monday of double annuity. So we are finishing with the emphasis on doubles and redoubles. Thank you for some of the hands sent in. Not so many with redoubles, I'll admit, but lots of doubling, so that's good. And we'll have a look at some of those today. We've got a couple of redoubles and one double today. So and then we move into February. We're going to be doing a responders rebid. We're going to be doing responders rebid, so the fourth bid of the auction, and focusing on that in February. We're coming towards the end of the lead quiz prize table on the site, so that's for the members, of course. And on Wednesday we've got the prize teams, which should be fun. I will have an Australian partner this time. Unfortunately her flights got cancelled or changed last month towards Christmas time, etc. So we will have Debbie playing with me hopefully this week. We've got a full set of prize winners, which should be fun. And then we move into February, but it's a normal week, as it were, Monday or Wednesday and Friday this week. What else have we got? Well, we'll have our 5-level decision. We will have the bidding quiz at the end. And I mentioned for some of my holidays, I'm often promoting all sorts, but these are a couple of the ones I'm doing. I'm in Malta in March, but that's sold out. But we're also going to Portugal, which is another new destination for us there, to the Alvobaya Resort Hotel. And my cruises, well, again, the first one in May is sold out, but this one going to the volcanic vistas of the Azores and Madeira. That's quite a mouthful. We're going out on the 25th of July, and that will actually be with my family as well. So those are a couple of my, I was going to say sojourns, a bit more than that, abroad. Of course, plenty of UK events that we're doing as well, so do look out for those as well. Of course, going to Ireland as well, forgotten that. And there's a few more on their way, so look out for those. So plenty on the cards, so hopefully we're all going to have a good week. But let's look at this. Let's start with this one. So this is of course from the Friday. Some of you will have already seen this. It goes one heart you open, obviously, but it accelerates rather quickly. And it is your bid. So it goes 1 heart, 1 spade, 4 hearts, 4 spades. I think it's quite an interesting one, this one, for a variety of reasons, and we'll discuss those in a moment. But we're going to have a little break to go and look at the seminar, and then we will come back to that one if we can. I've just got to remember what I want to do. I'm going to, excuse me, that's not what was supposed to happen. Excuse me just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to put up some hands in a moment. Excuse me, with, okay. All right, sorry about that. Got a bit distracted, but yeah, no, I've got a few hands that were sent in, so I'd like to look at those and see how they go. But first of all, let's sum up what we've talked about. So let's go to it. So redoubles, we said, what is a redouble? And of course, it is that blue card, which some people really don't know about, and it essentially doubles a double. Like the doubling dice in backgammon. Of course, you can only get to 4 in bridge. In backgammon, of course, you can go all the way to 64. So it goes 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, etc. So here 2 and then 4 and then it stops. It doesn't really make sense to go any higher than that. Remember though, you can only redouble a double by your opponent. So if you get doubled by your opponents, you are then able to make a redouble. So we discussed the reasons why we'd use it, sometimes to show strength, other times to show specific information, maybe a cupid or something like that, to find a better contract, and to maximise your scores. There's 4 different reasons. Maximise your scores means it's a natural bid. We saw that in 1 no trump. You can also have it in 4 spades. If they double you and it turns out you've got a void and an extra spade, and you think, hold on, I've got a 6-5 hand, I'm going to make this, you could redouble. And we discussed the times it comes up. The first round redouble should be relatively common. That really should. People forget about it. They just make a normal bid. But as we're going to see, the 2 examples that I've got here are both going to come up from that first round redouble. And it's a classic bid, and you'd be surprised at how many penalties you can get out of it. The other common one is the 1 no trump doubled, and then of course redoubled for whatever reason you use it, whether natural or for taker. Showing strength when about to rebid, as I say, that's again reasonably common. 1 club pass 1 spade, they double, and you've got a strong balanced hand here. Redoubling may well put you in a position to be able to penalise your opponents, and these penalties can get you 800 quite happily on a part score hand. The SOS redouble, slightly less common and also slightly hair-raising, as it were, but it can work quite well in some situations. And the redoubles to play, that tends to be gamblers. And I do see it, you do see it every so often. And it can get you a great score. Playing teams, it can gain a lot of imps. So, no, I'm just going to come off that and we're going to look at some hands. So let's have a look. Here's the first one. This was sent in by Jeff Woodcock. So thanks very much for sending some of your hands in. As I say, didn't get so many sent in on this particular topic. So I'm hoping that as we go on throughout the year, you can still remember the redoubles and keep them in mind. Okay, because as you see, there are a good number of reasons to use them. Okay, so here is your hand. Let's see how the auction goes. Partner opens a spade, I think. Let's have a look. It goes pass from east, 1 spade from partner, double. Okay, you're vulnerable and they're not, and that's going to be crucial on this hand. Very interesting. And the second one, we're going to see the vulnerability is the other way round, which I think is very interesting. So here, the problem you'll sometimes find is that if you can make a game, you have to take your opponent's 4 off to get a profit. Now it's slightly less easy at a 2-level contract. But we're going to redouble. That's important. It describes your hand. The redouble is just simply saying, partner, I don't particularly like your spades and I've got 9 or more points. Now, I'm going to show the auction that Q Plus had, which is very different to the one, well, not very different, but slightly different to the one that Jeff had. And as you can see here, it went 1 spade double, redouble, 2 diamonds, pass, and you are then very, very happy. Remember, after a strong redouble, all doubles are for penalties, and you are very happy to double that. And that ends the auction. And I don't really have to go through the play to tell you. I mean, we're going to have a little look at the play because we can see how far this contract's going to go down. Okay, so they lead the ace of spades. Partner leads the ace of spades, I should say. May well switch to a diamond here. Yeah. He doesn't know how many diamonds I got. He just wants to draw the ones in dummy, I think. There we go. So amazingly, it turns out East has got 3 and we can just draw the last trump from both hands there. So suddenly we know we're getting a massive score here. You know, because, well, we'll see how it goes, but it's pretty ugly for them. So he's trying the king of clubs, we'll play the ace. And to be honest, we're just going to play a club back here, I think. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so partner wins the queen. The king of spades allows us to throw a club. Partner switches to the jack of hearts. I think we might have to give in here. Notice we've made 7 tricks already, so I think we're okay. We'll play a club back, but I think we'll just make 2 ruffs, won't we? Yeah. Okay, because every time we ruff, we have to play. We're end played, but we're quite happy because, of course, we've got it 4 off, and 4 off is 800, and obviously they haven't really got a fit. It's an interesting thing, because I'm going to show you, I'll just remind you of the bidding that they had, and East chose to bid 2 diamonds here. I don't like that bid. I think he's better off passing the redouble and letting partner decide. Remember, if partner decides to bid 2 clubs, you could then choose another option. As it happens, 2 clubs is very close here, because that's what happened at the table. So let's look at that and just see, because it's quite interesting. So if I just leave the hands all open, and let's just take control of East, for example, here. And let's just see how the auction goes this time. So it goes pass, of course. I suppose some of you might have opened a week 2 there. It goes a redouble from North, and East, I think, should pass here. Now, of course, West is going to bid 2 clubs here, which again gets doubled. And it's interesting because the 10 of clubs is the key card here. Now, what does East bid? I have to say I might have been tempted to change from clubs to something else. But if you choose to pass, it's quite difficult to defend 2 clubs. I think you're going to get it 3 off. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, you're going to get it a long way off. But is that enough? Because I think Declare is likely to make, because of the 10 of clubs, as I say, the 10 of clubs is a key card here. I think Declare might make 5 tricks. And if he makes 5 tricks, 3 off is just 500. So it's really difficult to judge at this vulnerability. Equal vulnerability or vulnerability the other way, where you're non-vulnerable and they're vulnerable. It's easy. You just double. Remember, if they are vulnerable and you're not, you just need to get a contract 2 down. That's easy, because you've got them outgunned. That's what the redouble says here. Now, as Jeff pointed out, they've only got 24 points on this hand, but I just have a feeling that they might you might just fall into 3 no trumps, and the diamonds break so beautifully, and hearts, everything sits well. I think maybe 500 is a good score, feels a good score on this hand, and you're just unlucky that every single card is right for 3 no trumps, because 3 no trumps doesn't look particularly good. But East can never get the lead to lead a club if he wanted to, and so I think you're likely to get a club lead, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm in a hopeless contract here, but it turns out that you play ace of diamonds and another diamonds, and suddenly you've got 4 diamond tricks in your lap. So you may well make 3N, but I think I'd be happy with 2 clubs double -3, which happened at the table. And on another day, the 10 of clubs is in, let's say, the south hand, and now I think it's a real, it's a real struggle for West. But anyway, so that's one example. Let's try this one. I'll just let's try this one. I'll just, oops, I tell you what, we'll leave them open. We'll leave the hands open this time. It's probably easier. Okay. So we got dealer East again, coincidentally, but you can see we're going to be north-south here. Well, maybe it's better to have the north hand covered up. I don't know. Anyway, no, we'll just bid it. So East passes, of course. South opens 1 heart. Okay. Now, what's interesting here is I don't think that West has a good enough hand to double, but I think a lot of you would double, and certainly Q Plus chose to double. But that queen is relatively worthless, so it's a 9 count to me. I cut it in half as an opening bid, but when I've heard the opponent's bid hearts, I'm going to feel that queen of hearts Is 9 points an opening hand? To me, it's not. So I don't think you really should double here. However, it did get doubled. Okay, and now North's got a lovely redouble. And again, we've got this horrible situation for East. So East chooses to pass. And it goes pass from South, South's right, you know, and then one spade. Okay, now they are vulnerable, we are not. So, you know, North passes. This is a forcing situation. So South should not pass this bid out. That's important. You know, we're in a strong, you know, North, we've got the majority of points. There's no way we're selling out to one spade. And of course, South, not unreasonably, doubles that. Okay. And that is going to be the end of that. I'm going to make, you know, and that's the end of that. North's got no interest bidding. He's got nice spades. Remember, that double is for penalties. And actually at the table, I think Q Plus chose to bid 2 hearts, which was bizarre. You know, when I've seen it played. So I just don't understand that. I really don't. I think you're better off having a horrible letting partner have a horrible time in one spade, and one spade really will be a horrible time. I mean, let's have a look. You're losing 6 off the top, 7, 8. Remember, 2 off is a bottom. So, and you've got to be brave, but one spade doubled here, I think could well go 3 off, and that is worth 800 points, which is worth twice as much as a game, not just more than a game, twice as much as a game. 2 hearts again. I know my hearts aren't brilliant, but you know, I've got a flattish hand. I'm just going to double that. I mean, to be honest, perhaps I'm going to just take it back there. Let's just, I think possibly South should pass, because South, North knows what's in South's hand. It's interesting though. And obviously North can double, if that makes sense. So North does the doubling, because remember, North knows his part. I suppose South's hearts are so bad that if North had a singleton heart there, maybe we would want to bid 2 no trumps or something like that, or bid something else. But clearly North's got decent hearts, and now it's just carnage. I don't think there's any reason to play the hand here. It really is carnage for De Clouer. Well, interesting. I'm letting Q Plus bid it now, because this isn't what happened at the table. 2 hearts was played and doubled. But I mean, they're just going from the frying pan into the fire, as it were, because I mean, that's just, you've already been penalty doubled in 2 spades once. So they're just, you know, and we're just going to have lots and lots of fun. So at this vulnerability, it's easy. When your opponents are vulnerable and you are not, you want them doubled, even at 1 spade. I was happy in 1 spade. You know, now, I mean, you can see we're going to take the first 5 tricks are, you know, not rocket science. It goes ace, king, jack of diamonds, ace, king of clubs. You know, and then you're probably, I mean, the ideal scenario is you try and draw the trumps. So you would take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 you could do. Yeah, so, I mean, it's horrible. It's just horrible for De Clouer. So those are the classic redoubling hands, which I like. So, unfortunately, I only had 2 to show you. They were the same redouble as well, but it is the most common one. It is the most common one. I've got one more hand. This one was sent in by Stuart this time. So I think I'll look at it from the perspective of North, if that's okay. And let's just look at it now. This one is not so much. I may have to control all the bids here though. Anyway, no. It goes 1 club. No, it doesn't. So I'm going to have to control all the bids, I think. Bear with me. Okay, so it goes. I'm starting again. 1 diamond. Oh, excuse me. Just need that to be visible. 1 diamond, 1 spade overcall. And I have to say, I'd probably bid 2 diamonds with this hand. At the table, sorry, Q plus bid 1 no trump, but at the table it was 2 diamonds, and I think that's normal. 2 spades. Double from south, which for me shows a nicer hand. Pass. For me, we've got to fit. I'm at too low a level here to even contemplate passing 2 spades, I think. They are vulnerable though, so I've got some sympathy with passing it. But anyway, we bid 3 diamonds. It then went pass, pass, 3 spades, and it's your turn to bid. So there's not a redouble on this one. But clearly we're in double annui. And so for me, this is a classic hand where you must punish your opponents here, okay? Your partner's shown a bit more strength for me, although we will see that he doesn't necessarily have that. But for me, that double is saying, partner, I've got a nice hand. There's maybe a chance for game. So I think they're just outbidding themselves. What's really crucial here is 1 off doubled is a great score. So we don't need, it's not like trying to beat a game here. We're not going to make a game. I've got an 8 count. We've already passed, West could have passed 3 diamonds out. Maybe what he's hoping for is 3 spades undoubled -1. But I'm not going to let him get away with that. I'm putting a double on that. Okay. Now on this particular hand, it ends up being something like 800 and your opponents have overbid. But what's crucial if they do have a little bit more distribution, well then we make sure they suffer for it. I'll tell you what, I'll open up all the hands so you can see them. And it's not completely and utterly unreasonable what they're doing, the opponents, but they just haven't got the singletons. And when your opponents bid like this, don't let them get away with it. Here, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it'd be the ace of diamonds lead. You're not quite sure what to lead, so partner would say yes. And I think you'd probably play another diamond, I guess. A club would work maybe best, but a diamond looks sensible. And you can see things are going from, are pretty dire. I guess declare will probably rough that diamond, and declare was in a real. There's just no tricks for declare. You can see it. I won't play the hand out, but declare was going to lose at least 2 hearts, 2 clubs, and a spade. And that is 3 off already. So this is just. We'll put it. We'll let declare have 6 tricks because I'm feeling generous, but. It's the kind of thing I will see bid a lot. Now, 300 is going to be a good score, of course, for North-South, but 800, it's important to take advantage of the errors your opponents make here. There's no ambiguity about the double at all. Clearly here, I wouldn't probably have done the double with the South hand. I would have probably just bid 3 diamonds. For me, South has a competitive hand, not a hand that wants to try for game. So for me, 1 diamond, 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 spades. I guess it's possible you've got a better fit in a different suit, but it doesn't feel right. To me, double is saying, partner, I've actually got a 16 count. If you're maximum, whatever, we got a chance for a game. So I would have just bid 3 diamonds. And again, if they bid 3 spades, it's important that North punishes it. It's interesting. Maybe North could consider passing the double there of 2 spades, because that, and clearly East-West shouldn't have gone on, and 2 spades doubled is a good score. So that's an interesting choice there. Whether North could have actually passed the double. Things could have been a lot worse though, I suppose. Queen 10 could have been set over, but you can see there's a lot of tricks there. And remember, 1 off is better than a part score. That's what's crucial here. So maybe passing the 2 spades doubled. Anyway, thank you for those hands. I'm drifting away. I love doubling. I think it's such an important part of the game of bridge. It really is. And I want you to enjoy it. Do it more in January. and you get used to it and hopefully can sustain it for the rest of the year. I think it's a great way to start. You've still got, let's check, 4 days left. And, you know, it really is important to be a doubler. You know, I often do seminars on competitive bidding and say, look, if you play against that pair that never double you, well, then bid more. -2 non-vulnerable is a good score if you're not doubled. Whereas if you play against the doublers, be a little bit more careful. So if you can start doubling, suddenly your opponents bid less against you and you enjoy your own hands as well. So there you go. Okay, so that is that. A quick little look at these. I'm off to the Isle of Wight at the end of February and the beginning of March this year, so do join us there. And we always have a nice time there. And we've got a little slide up there which depicts the gourmet events that we're doing, or the gourmet and country house events. So you can see we've got 2 bridges, which is I've been doing a lot of down in Devon, and we're down there. In fact, that's my next event in a couple of weeks. So do join me there. I think we've still got one. The Ardington down in I nearly said Brighton there in Worthing, and the Parsford House which is one of the country house events in Hampshire. But plenty to look at, and I think you all know where to look. So the 5-level decision, let's go back to that. Now I've just got to bear with me as I set up the way it should be, which is la-di-da, 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 da-da, la-di, and then like that. And we can go back to that now. Okay, so we had the auction. 1 heart, 1 spade, 4 hearts, 4 spades, and we have a tricky decision here. Now we've seen this auction before, but this time we're relatively flat here, but I like my hand. What does 4 hearts mean? What does it guarantee? Now 4 hearts for me is a preemptive style bid. And I think we're in a slightly different scenario here, because I'm not sure 4 hearts is necessarily a forcing bid. Leaves us in a forcing pass, because we might be the preemptors or not. So I think this is tricky. If you pass, I think your partner's allowed to pass. That's a decision for your partnership perhaps to make, but I would feel with 2 doubletons, I'm not convinced. I certainly don't want to bid on to 5 hearts here. I hate having a doubleton spade, for example. I hate that because so often we're in a situation where we both have a doubleton spade and we lose 2 spades. But with ace, king, I would feel I've got to do something here. So I am going to double here. I would double to say, partner, I'm not convinced we should be at the 5 level, but I do think that we should be doing something. If they make, so be it. But I'd be quite confident of making 3 tricks, and it's not unreasonable. You know, ace, king of clubs are likely to stand up. Ace of hearts, you've got a good chance, and surely partner might have something. He doesn't have to. Remember, double is not the be-all and end-all here. If partner had 7 hearts and nothing else, you might just bid 5 hearts. But double is saying, partner, I think that doubling 4 spades is the best thing for us to do. I mean, let's look at the hand. I mean, now, some of you might not bid 4 hearts with the West hand, and again, that's again going to be your style. It is only an 8-loser hand, so I don't mind it. If it had gone 3 hearts, 3 spades, maybe we could bid 4 clubs, and over 4 spades maybe it's easier to double, but you sort of like to get in the way, because maybe if you take your time they won't actually bid 4 spades. Or you know, it's interesting, how does 4 spades do? Is it a good sacrifice? I think it is. So, I mean, they're definitely going down in it. Of course, we can get a club rough there, but I don't think we're going to quite do enough. We're just going to take 300. So 4 spades is a good sacrifice for them. Notice that we are losing very quickly 3 tricks, and that's that horrible doubleton. Okay, so I think this is a tricky one. If you pass, though, partner is going to pass. Can you see that? I can think no reason for West to bid, really, if you pass. Now, as I say, double will make, I mean, in fact, it might get double, redouble, you never know. But double, sometimes four spades is going to make on these kind of hands. I think it's really tricky. But I think you've got to be positive with these hands. Double and say, look, partner, I feel I've got my side of the bargain here. I've got 3 tricks. I'm hoping you've got 1. And of course, quite often there is another one about. And as I say here, it's not surely going to start with a heart to partners. Might start with a queen of hearts, but you'll overtake that and play ace, king of clubs. And when you get the high-low from partner, you can give him a ruff. And that is that. You make the ace of diamonds and take 4 spades 2 off. Yeah, maybe if West bids 3 hearts, but it looks a bit, it seems it's almost between 2 hearts and 4 hearts. 3 hearts seems a bit of an overbid. So let's say you just bid 2 hearts. It would then go 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 spades. I'm not sure we've got enough 4 hearts. So I think it needs to be at least 3 hearts. So I think it's an interesting hand. Distribution is so important. Give yourself a singleton in the East hand and you are very much more in favour of going for the 5 hearts. And as you can see here, change the double doubleton into a singleton and 3. If you've got 3 spades, you'd be at a rough 1 in dummy and 1 diamond, or 1 spade and 3 diamonds. That's a bit trickier because it wouldn't work so well, undoubtedly there. But usually a singleton gives you more chance, and that's the key. So lots going on there, lots of doubling, and I hope that you have all managed to do at least 1 extra double this term. I nearly said this month, but I would, if you haven't, do more doubling in the next 4 days, please. Okay, no excuse, and if you can fit a redouble in, I would be very pleased indeed. Okay, let's have a look at this bidding quiz. Our usual bidding quiz. 1 spade from partner, 2 diamonds you bid. I hope you're happy with that. Seems reasonable. You've got 3 card spade support, but you've got a lovely diamond suit. Partner rebids 2 no trumps. So 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 no trumps. Lovell. Okay, so 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 no trumps, and it's your bid. Okay, good luck with that one. Again, you can see the answer, of course, on the website. Okay, and whether you're a member or non-member, please do have a look. In fact, I've been recording more of those this morning. So we'll see. So have a good week. Hopefully, I mean, there was some sunshine on Saturday. Saturday was lovely down here. Sunday was really horrible. It's amazing how much contrast you can get in 2 days, really. So let's hope we can see a bit of more sunshine and get some vitamin D in our veins. And so some fun bridge coming up. We've got the prize teams. I'll be playing Australian Standard, I think, probably. I'll find out. I'll check. With Debbie, and so hopefully some fun. That's Wednesday at the normal time, and then of course on Friday we are talking bidding the opponent's suit, not for much longer, but we're finishing off that topic. So thanks for your company and see you again soon.